guys, and welcome to Wednesday Night Dragon Lair. I'm your host, Kai, with my co-host, the wonderful Lord of the Ewoks, or Grizzly Adams costume, TFG1Mike, because, you know, gotta give him a hard time, because I'm also wearing my tangerine shirt that they gave me a hard time with. Because I sat there. Did
you watch that? Did you watch that thing since Saturday?
Yeah. I was sitting there. I was at work today, and I had this on, and I'm sitting there like, because I like these shirts. They're cool. They're comfort. I have about 6 of them that I rotate. I have not been able to find these anymore. So I've been trying to find a good place that's affordable with it, and let's just put 6 XL tees, because I'm 6'3", is a pain in the ass to find. I mean,
so this is not a sponsored thing, but I'm just gonna sit here and say, go over to kingsize.com today.
Has that been reliable?
Oh yeah, this is a 3XL I bought like 7 years ago. And it still fits. And it still these are every shirt that you see me that has a pocket, has a pocket that I've been wearing. These are all from kingsize.com.
Yeah, because I have not been able to find these. This is like they have Adidas or Reebok on them, and the fabric I can't explain. It's like a cooling mesh, so it keeps you cool. So when somebody has to crank up the heaters and burns you to death, you got something that at least kind of keeps you cool. And they worked great. I'd like to get more of them. And because I have polos, but let me be honest with you. If you're in an office where everybody keeps messing with the heat and stuff,
polos are not good. Yeah, they suck.
They're brutal. They're brutal.
Yeah, but check out kingsize.com today.
I'll have to look at that. So, interesting things. So we're going to cover lots of topics tonight, as we're back. We're back, baby. We're back, baby. But that's right. First thing I'm going to have to say is we are going to have to cover another house hunting stream. So
yes, we are.
We had a good show up for that, which was funny as hell. And so I was laughing because it had 11 likes, and all these dislikes start popping up, rolling in there, and I'm like, were they mad at Orcosaurus because he was spicier than a meatball, or was it something else? And I thought it was hilarious because I'm like, so what they are telling me behind these dislikes is they want more of it. So yes, another house hunting. If I could find haunted houses for sale and find images on that, I sure as hell would.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I think that we do that for Halloween theme. So maybe we'll see if we can figure something out. Which is going to be funny because I'll be on Orcosaurus' show Friday, I think around noon or 1, which means I'm up at a reasonable time, which I should be anyway, because I got a lot of work to do for the channel. And I was like, I'm going to jump in on his show. He's got a surprise stream, so I'm looking forward to that. It'll be nice to be on somebody else's show for once. I really like that. It was an honor to be invited.
Wow.
No, I'm serious.
My eyes for one.
I'm on your show on the podcast radio.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You hear my charming voice. You don't get to see my charming gelatinous ass on your stuff. I'm just saying. Come on now. But that was funny. Right. So I had to walk to the gate yesterday, and I stepped in front of this electronic gate waiting to get in the car. Because Mom was on the other side because she's been borrowing my vehicle. And I'm laying there, and I'm looking at the gate. I'm like, okay, it opens up every time for all these vehicles. I'm literally standing right in front of here, and I'm like, it's not taken. So I have to call my boss and say, hey, boss, what's the key to get out of this gate? Because apparently the sensors ain't picking up my gelatinous size ass as a vehicle, so I need... And he just starts laughing. I gotta be funny about it.
Between the two of us, we're not like 20-ton vehicles here. I mean, I'm fat, but I ain't that fat.
No, but I had to make a joke on it, and he just started laughing his ass off on it. And I said, well, you know what? And he gave me the password, and I got out. But then I ended up getting it was a long night last night. I ended up getting hurt, so I didn't do stream last night. So that sucked. Yeah. My knee's okay now, but let's just say inverted knee and it twists the wrong way under your kneecap is not fun. It took that's all, not fun at all. Yeah, so I rested it all night, ice and everything, and I woke up. Hurts a little bit, but I feel better. But I also have some cool things, Mike.
Oh boy. Yes. Amazing.
Oh, come on.
That's too close. That's too close. There you go.
There you go, guys. Awesome tricks of success.
Soon for $19.95 each.
So I got this. Mom's been testing this out. So this is the Kai Dragon Gardening Journal, which she was talking about journals. So this here, you can write all your stuff on it, information. This one's a test run. So we may be marketing these later for those and maybe different things. So if you still want the old fashioned thing of writing, which is a lost art, but if you don't have a computer or a phone, because sometimes phone, plus if your phone goes bad, you lose it all. Whereas paper still lasts. So
right there.
That's I got some else cool. So I my mug's being washed right now, so otherwise I'm gonna sip from the Kai Dragon mug. But I also have mouse pads.
Very cool, very cool. Coming soon for $59.95.
I'm not gonna market that much, but no, I am looking at stuff like this to sell. These are just test runs. Mom got this for my show, and we're gonna do some test runs on some of these, but I got business cards and things like that. So I'm going balls to the wall. But I thought I'd share that because I was we were waiting for those. I was waiting to unveil it when I got it because it was about a month ago she ordered them. So I wanted to see how they looked and turn out. So there's some fun little things we might market in the future for products. Because I still think this one is really good. And
it's a good idea.
And you could do it with pretty much anything journal-wise. As she said in her video on the Gardening Channel, journaling is still important because you don't remember everything. And sometimes you have to go back to it. So, I wanted to share some of that because I thought it would be cool to market it.
Where are you going?
I was turning back to put it back behind me, so I didn't knock it over.
You're reaching back into oblivion over there.
I'm reaching into void. Anyway, so no. Other than that, it's pretty good news. I was excited to share that with stream tonight. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
that's awesome.
Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about tonight is content creation degrees. So I heard about this about a month ago before you brought it up to me, Mike. Colleges are now, for you guys in the audience, are now offering content creation degrees. So if you want to go in debt by an additional $40,000 to $60,000 to become a content creator, which there is no guarantee that you will succeed and be a content creator. Well, college is for you. So not only will you learn how to make videos, plan videos, learn how to deal with the algorithm from instructors that have never actually ever done YouTube and have no freaking idea about how to beat the algorithm or how to get in the algorithm or any of that. You'll also learn how to edit, but you'll also learn how to do math. You'll learn how to do technical writing and learn all about biology and stuff for $60,000 a year. Yeah. And hey, Blitz, how you doing, buddy? Much love for you. Hey, there you go, chef's kiss. Anyway, so I was reading this and I'm like, have we really lost our freaking minds? Because here's the deal. That content creation degree will mean jack shit. So this is my advice to anybody that's really considering going to college for content creation. Stop. Hold on. Don't go into debt. There is plenty of resources out there. There's plenty of tools to learn, because here's the other part of the content creation. You have to spend money to get the software, or you have to find freeware until you can afford single licensing. You have to learn that software. There's Adobe Pro, there's DaVinci, there's all these different programs. You have to learn thumbnails. Some of those you can take as individual classes online from people and save a lot of money. Because here's the thing. I do accounting by day. That's my day job. But at night, I work on gardening. I work on content creation. I game. I do a lot of different things. So what I do in the evening is planning, figuring things out. Like tonight, I plan to talk about Mike about this and some other topics. I had already put the stream. I'm trying to get in a habit of getting these streams out ahead of time so you can see where you're
coming up. Yeah.
And as Blitz says, literally just get on YouTube. A lot of people have this dream that they're going to be the next Asmongold, the next Hassan Piker, the next Mr. Beast, and make all these millions. What they don't tell you is 80% of people will give up, fail, or not make it. They won't say it. They won't tell you this. I've watched a lot of people in the years make it, but you realize how many years it took them to get where they're at? Some of these guys have been churning out videos and find out what sticks and growing and doing all this stuff for 5 to 6 years. It is a long game.
Or longer.
It is not longer. And it is not sustainable income for the first 5-6 years. So what are you going to do? Content creation yourself, living in the streets because you have nowhere to go, and oh wait, you don't have internet, so you can't upload stuff. That is the problem with this. And it only works. So sorry, Mike.
Well, that's the problem with this. And the other thing is that going viral isn't what it was in 2006, 2007, 2008. Yes, things still go viral, but it's changed on what and how it goes viral. Now, going to somewhere like, what was college thing that they showed me? Like Brown or wherever. It's some school in Pennsylvania. Brown is on top of my head, but whatever. Point is that these these academic institutions offering these courses, when supposedly these teachers been YouTube, like they're just choosing what they want to choose to teach you about YouTube. They don't know anything about it. I would rather, if I was going to spend a amount of money, I'm not saying I would ever spend.
You're cutting out, Mike.
Am I? Hang on. If I was going to, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. If I was going to spend any amount of money, I'm not saying I'm going to spend $60,000, but I would take a master class from someone who has been on YouTube have 16 years, or someone that has been, like, I've been on YouTube for 15, 16 and a half years, but I've never looked at it doing anything with it.
You're getting a little bit where it's like it goes air and we don't hear the rest of your words. Sorry, Mike.
Wait, hang on. Let me change the. Is this better?
Keep talking what you were saying.
Last one. So the thing of this is, I would go and watch someone who has been on YouTube, made it, even though they only kind of super appeared like 5 years ago, versus going to an actual college. Like MKBHD offers a math. This guy.
It did it again there. What's going on?
Hang on. I don't know. It's probably my internet.
Okay, if it's your internet, we can do it. It's just like, it's like you're talking, then it just cuts for a second.
Cuts out.
Yeah, like it's not picking up you.
Okay, how's this? Test 1, 2.
Okay.
Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, try to see what it does there.
So, if I was going to do anything with college for YouTube, it would not be going to a traditional college. I would go to something like the MKBHD Masterclass. Say what you will about him. He's been on YouTube since 2009. He only got super big recently in the last 5 or 6 years or whatever, and I'm not disparage the man at all. I like what he does for the most part. but like he offers a master class in making YouTube videos. I would rather pay somebody who has been in it and is now super beyond popularity that I'll ever reach. I would rather learn from that person than learn from a teacher that has never YouTube whatever. Like, communication teachers are great. They are. But communications degrees are not, they're not YouTube. They're not content create. Like, I looked at part of what that was. Like, these are communications educators trying to teach people YouTube. That doesn't work.
No, it don't. And the thing about it, Mike, so unless you were in the early game, like I was talking about early years of YouTube and Twitch, back when it first came out and people were watching, that's where a lot of these guys made it from back in the old days. This is, and it was easier. It was just half-assed content without much editing. You just record a video game, put it up. And then as time, more people come on, you had to be more competitive. You had to get into drama. You had to get into all this stuff. And then, like Ultra Geek says, it's practical application. Don't get a degree, waste of money. Yes, you can learn so much on the internet with how-to videos, the research stuff. You don't need a degree. And the problem with it is, so you're going to need to eat. Having a content creator degree will not mean jack shit. I'm going to be very blunt. You're wasting your money. You're going to be in debt. That interest will drown you alive. First, let me tell you something. The first 3 years I got out of college, and I was applying everywhere, and I had the door slammed in my face because I had too much experience, not enough experience, here, there, all this crap. 3 years. My interest on my $50,000 student loans, because I was a non-traditional student and I didn't have a lot of grants, I didn't have a lot of funding because I didn't qualify for a lot of that shit. Guess what? $10,000 of interest in 3 years because I couldn't get a job.
See, that's the
problem. And now
yeah.
I have been paying down an interest and working down pretty much just the interest because they don't touch the principal until you get the interest down. That's how they work. So the problem with that, now you got a content creator degree. You're going to try to do that on, you know, that kind of money. And you're going to be working at someplace, Starbucks or wherever, making $10, $12 an hour, and you got a degree that technically you need to be making about $30 an hour minimum in some states. If you're going to East or West Coast, you're probably going to have to double or triple that just to make sure you can pay your full student loan principal and interest and not be on one of these payment plans that the government gets you. Because guess what? A lot of people don't realize that interest will keep accruing and accruing and accruing depending on what you make. So, and that is the worst part about it. So I have unsub loans and subsidized loans, but after a certain time, both of them come together and interest builds no matter what. So the crappy part about it, if let's say I was only making $20,000, $30,000 a year, my student loan payments based on their plans may be only, let's say $40, $50. Great. That's cool. I can pay my rent and all that, but the interest overwhelms that money, and that's how they keep you locked in there. A lot of people don't realize that. I did it because of the situation that I was in at the time. If I got out of school and I was making a good wage right out of college, I would have just said hell with it and paid $700 a month and been done in 10 years. And found a way to do it.
And unfortunately, that wasn't the case because that isn't the case. And it's not just because of this news story. It's not just content. It's college in general. Look, fine.
It's not cheap.
No, it's not cheap. But also, it's not cheap to get a promise of potentially getting an employee. That's where I'm going with this, because that has been a thing for I graduated high school 25 years ago, and I went to community college. I went 2 or 3 semesters. It just wasn't for me. Back then, and I'm sure still now, they required a math course. I'm not the best person at math when it comes to like the higher, like calculus and all that.
Now,
So, but it's one of those things
go
where
ahead.
back then they said to us, "Hey, do all this extra schoolwork, pay us all this money unless you have, and then you can get a college degree, and then when you go out into the workforce, you can present your to your potential employer, and you can say, look, I'm qualified for this job."
Sorry, guys. I know he's having technical difficulties. I think it's his internet. That's what I'm thinking, because he is jumping a little bit, so I do apologize.
Can you hear me now?
So far, but when you start talking, it's like it drops.
I've changed every microphone setting.
I think it's your internet, bro.
Yeah, I've looked at every part. Like, it says I'm connected. It says everything is fine. I don't know.
Well, even so, Ivan, bad news for you. And we'll cover that in just a second, because I do have a rebuttal on it. So somebody may say, well, why didn't you go to why didn't you go to a trade school?
Right.
And unfortunately,
it's the same problem.
Trade school, it is a little bit more costly, but the thing about it is, the drawback to that is it's a great thing to get into. Plumbing, electrical, all that. And that's where a lot of people are going to have to go, but that field's going to get saturated eventually down the road if that's all they can do. But the other problem is it's not cheap either anymore. Trade school used to be cheaper, but and they still have the master apprentice for most of that trade schools.
And the trade schools, it's still the problem of the cost. Regardless if it's cheaper than actual academics, it's still a cost. And there's still no guarantee, because, you know, just
but life's not a guarantee. But content creation, let's just put it to you this way. Get a degree in something like that, because I know a lot of kids, they say, well, what do you want to do? And you go, content creation, because they've watched Mr. Beast or they watched that. But the problem with that is, they had to climb through hell to get through it. Or a lot of these YouTubers or Twitchers had financial backing, had money, had mom and dad's credit card, were able to grow substantially, or they didn't have to have a job to pay bills. They had everything handed to them. There's different things that some people did have to climb through the gutters and a pile of shit to get where they're at. But that's not always the case. Most of them came from somewhere beforehand because they had no risks. Now, when you're talking about content creators, hey, Davos, how you doing, buddy? So when you're talking, and Rice says, I will say I want to work in a shipyard in Mobile, Alabama. And yeah, that's very admirable. I mean, and I'm sure there's a lot of stuff for that. And Ivan says college is expensive unless you study to be a doctor, engineer, lawyer, or others that require a college degree. Lawyers is a tricky one. Lawyers is probably one of the hardest ones, in my opinion, because I know people that are lawyers, and only the top ones really get into the big law firms, and you have to have the moral compass of a chainsaw to really get into those. So basically, you have to make sure you basically have no conscience in what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And the problem with that is, I knew many lawyers that were only making $40,000-$50,000 a year working for institutions, and their college debt was $70,000-$80,000 minimum. So it's really difficult. But doctors, but you're still looking at six figures to get an engineer. Engineer is probably the best field to get into, they say right now, because there's so many different forms of engineering. But the problem with that is, a lot of people don't want to do those specific jobs. They want to do other things. When I wanted to go to school, I wanted to be a tax attorney. I wanted to specialize in something that was real rare, that I'd basically have to argue with the IRS, help keep my clients out of jail, or whatever the case may be. But I was burnt out in school by the time I got out for enough hours for the CPA. I was like, I'm already this much in debt because I worked 2 part-time jobs. So I was averaging about 30, 35 hours a week working, plus going to school. And really all those part-time jobs did was give me money to eat. I didn't, my student loans used to cover my room and my school stuff. That's it. Yeah. So I had to work to eat. I had to work to do that stuff. And, just you sometimes get lucky, sometimes you don't when it comes to that. And so it's kind of a pain in the butt. But when they say, oh, hey, we're going to do a content creator, you have to beat the algorithm. You have to figure out a script. You have to know how to edit. You have to do this. And it's all, there's people who are going to say, oh, it's not luck. And the algorithm's the audience. But here's the thing. The algorithm is the AI generated program that tries to find your content and send it to specific audience pools for what they're looking for. Yeah. And then they're also going to recommend the more top tier ones that already exist. Then you have to worry about maintaining that momentum. And going viral means you have to keep going and doing viral stuff. You keep having to double down. You have to keep going. Look at these stupid things called the TikTok challenges. They get worse and worse and worse, and it's all for fame and clout because somebody's doing something stupid and dangerous for clout. Content creation, and so somebody may say, well, why am I doing content creation? Because I really like what I do. I like working with my people. I like working with my friends. But your form of content creation is our Dragon show here is the Degenerate Green stream on Saturday. It's streaming video games. It's not going out to a person's house who has been swarmed with bees and the bees are stinging you through your suit because you're trying to get to the... Yeah. I hate TikTok. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I can't stand what TikTok has done to our intelligence. I mean, that's the thing with the content creation thing. It's a long game. I know a friend of mine. She blogs. Took her 8 years to get where she's at, making the kind of money she is now. She was able to finally retire to do that. And it took a long time. A lot of people look for the instant gratification to be done. And that's not always the case. It's not always the case. I mean, and the other thing they don't include is the dangers of content creation, the issues that you run into with content creation. There's a lot of different things out there. Is content creation fun? Yes. Is doing live streaming fun? Yes. Is talking and engaging with my audience fun? Oh, hell yeah. That's what I love doing. I could do this all day long. But K-Cap, it's just a long game. Yeah. And then you also have to be careful because, flipping to the changing gears, Asmongold said something he probably shouldn't have because he was having what they call a based opinion on some, and he got canceled. And now he's pretty much stepped down 2 of his businesses, and now he got banned for 2 weeks on Twitch, and now going on some spiritual journey, I guess, to cleaning his room finally and some other stuff. And I'm like, no, that's what his farewell video was, because he's gonna leave for a while. And I'm like, oh God, what the hell? I'm like, okay, but he said some things he probably shouldn't have on Twitch. I'm not gonna disagree. I'm not gonna say anything on that. I'm talking precisely the facts. He said something he shouldn't have, and probably not the smartest idea. And he was one of the few people I didn't think could ever be canceled, and he got canceled. So he had to come out on an apology tour, which is One of the things I will say with content creators is don't apologize. It just makes it worse. Learn, grow from it.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you apologize, they'll capitalize on it more. And the other thing is, don't say stupid stuff that's going to get you in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you are willing to accept the consequences.
Yeah.
And in this case, you know, they went at him harder than Dr. Disrespect, in my opinion, Mike.
Wow.
And I'm just like, wow. I was like, I mean, the fact that he stepped down 2 of his companies, and I'm pretty sure they probably told him he needs to step down.
Yeah, probably.
And had to do an apology video. Yeah, it just, and that's exactly it, Blitz. Apologizing does nothing. They'll say you didn't mean it and bring it up years after the fact. I mean, somebody said, I thought cancel culture was always about education and teaching people. And they said, what happened? And no. And I said this comment clearly on X, and I don't care. I said, cancel culture is something where they try to destroy the individual entirely, monetarily, their welfare, their well-being, their existence, their entire life, whether their career they have outside the content creation, whether it's in content creation, anything. They want to pretty much ruin you entirely. It's not about education. It's not about awareness. No, it's about there's no forgiveness. It's literally about destroy everything. Yeah, it's go and scorched earth on you as a creator.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's about you saying something as so stupid as pineapple belongs on. You know, it's about you saying something like that, and somebody their butt hurt on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and then all of a sudden we need to cancel this person. I saw an Instagram reel recently comparing language, certain words in the English language, like, well, we can say this word, but we never say this word. Then these two things are not the same. Like, yeah, like we never say the N word. Obviously, we refer to it as the N word. But we can say something else that's worse or almost. It's not. It's not. And it's like, oh my God, what in the cancel culture thing? Like,
pineapple on pizza is a sin.
It's just internet bullying is what it is.
That's okay. So precisely, that's what it comes down to. It's internet bullying. And what's the worst part is the cancel culture ends up going after your family too, your friends, everything. It's like it's not just they want to stop and make you broke and homeless on the streets. They want to excommunicate you from all your friends, your family, isolate you. It's a horrible thing. And it's not about education. It's not about informing. And that's the sad part with it. So when it happens with a lot of these guys, depending on the severity of it, it can really, it can destroy you.
Yep.
And Dallas says, my goal is to ruin TFG1Mike for having such a luscious mane and being nice, and saying my goal to cancel Kai for being so friendly. Well, I read it before you did that, Dabbles.
You know what? We need to team up. We need to buy a year's worth of Christmas lights just stream them all over his house.
Yeah.
17. Okay, what was it? 25,000 twinkle lights.
Yeah.
Hey, Clark, those lights ain't twinkling. It's okay, Art. We need to send Davos 25,000 Italian twinkle. And we need to have somebody put it up all over his house where he'll just be trapped and curled up in a corner like a child. That's right.
Yep. And Blitzlock says, oh, you said something, my feelings don't great. Time to make sure you can't provide for yourself and family. Yes, that's literally, I watched a couple streams where a guy was getting canceled for some he said, or mistaken in a context. And one of the guys said, yeah, our purpose of my group and stuff is to make sure that you can't talk on the internet anymore. Make sure you don't have money so your family and you can't survive, and completely ruin your life. That was our goal. And that's literally what this guy told the content creator, and he fought back and said, well, you're an effing moron. Well, what ended up happening was then all the guys started mass reporting his channel, and next thing you know, it got terminated, and then it took like thousands upon thousands of people at Team YouTube to say, dude, what the hell's going on? And then all this other stuff. And eventually he got his channel back. But the problem with it is it should have never went that far. For having an opinion that is different than another person's. And that was the problem. And, you know, there is consequences for what you say. There always is. There always will be. That's part of the price to have freedom of speech, is there is consequences for saying. But
there's consequences,
at the same
but
time,
again, you just said freedom of speech. There's a difference in having freedom of speech and knowing what to say and when to say it.
Bingo.
And just coming out and saying the stupidest, dumbest junk in the world that you know is not, like, again, what have I been saying for the year and a half that I've been doing this? Common sense.
Yeah.
This world ain't got it anymore most times, unfortunately.
It's about as common sense as Disney.
Oh God! All right, you want to go there, huh?
Oh okay. Yeah, we're throwing that in for you. So we had a fun new article that, courtesy of TFG1Mike, I'm going to go ahead and read it.
You can read it. Go ahead and read it. But I want to say first, I found they did a video on it, and because they're Disney fans and they like going to the parks. And I looked at this and I'm like, I am so glad I have not been to Disney 29 years. Next year would have been 30 years since Disney last time. Go ahead.
Okay, so soon you'll be able to coast through lightning lanes at Walt Disney World and Disneyland whenever you want, but it's not going to be cheap. On Wednesday, the Florida and California resorts have debuted a new lightning lane premier pass. So, along with the existing multi-pass and single pass, basically this new pass allows you to enter the lightning lane attractions without ever having to book them at all. You just show up, basically show them this pass, and you get to cut everybody in line, even those with the other passes and stuff. So basically, it's a premier pass, and guests can use the pass to enter each applicable attraction once per day.
So you can't even ride it more than once if you wanted to. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
And so the Lightning Lane Premier Pass per person per day, Disney Animal Kingdom is $129 to $200 plus tax. Epcot is $169 to $249 plus tax. Hollywood
basically
Studios,
it's
up to $450.
Yeah. Up to $450 per pass per person per day, or not per. Yeah. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, first of all, for those people that don't live in Florida or near Florida that can actually drive to, for those of us that might have to fly from Indiana or Kansas or Washington or Hawaii or Alaska or Canada or wherever you are in the world, first of all, you got the cost of a flight.
Mm-hmm.
You got the cost of, well, if you get a Disney package, like, I don't know, $3,000-$4,000, you can stay at one of their resorts. You can have one of those experiences. Stay at the Star Wars Hotel, ladies and gentlemen. Do that anymore. But, like, I remember, like I said, the last time I went to it was 29 years. And in 1995, the coolest thing they had at the time was Honey, I Shrunk the Audience ride.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the time, we probably paid for the day, for the one day. I think because my mom at the time living in Florida, I think we paid something like $150 for two people. So 70, and that was just to get into the park. That wasn't anything for food or anything like that, but that was, and I'm trying to remember something that happened. But I'm saying it wasn't as god awful as all these experiences are that they want you to basically, all the money, $60,000 you're spending on college, go to Disney.
It's insane, but Disney has been losing money for so long that this is what they're having to do now. This is what they have chosen that they have to do.
Yep.
And so the reason why they're raising prices is like all these other companies to try to recover costs. Just like Sony introduced their new console and unleash their all their game, the way their games are and their Game Pass and all this stuff. I mean, not going to go into details with Sony, but the problem with that at the end of the day is everybody's trying to recover the cost of their blunders when they make some bad decisions, such as 300 or 400 million. I've got two different reports of 300, 400 million costs for Concord. Who the hell knows what it really is? But you know what? The consumers are going to pay for that loss. It's not going to be Sony and have to report to the shareholders while they blundered it. And the problem with that is they've raised too much money prices, and they've made too many blunders, and Disney's done that. I mean, they're pricing themselves out of the industry is what they're doing. And
really, honestly, does anyone in the audience dabbles? I don't know where I forget where Ivan is, but dabbles or anybody, does anyone actually want to go to Disney anymore? Does Disney Florida or California, do they have anything that you absolutely must go to that park to see for you? Let's see what the audience says.
So here's my take on it while the audience is answering your question, Mike. No, I would rather go to Nintendo Studios now. I would rather do something like that because it'd be cheaper and I can actually do multiple things
and it's something you've never done before.
And the thing with
I know there are a lot of people out there that are,
and just cover this with Disney.
Yep.
It's a once in a lifetime vacation that's going to put you in the poorhouse. Whereas me and my mom, we went on a cruise 2018 or 2017. I can't.
Whatever it was.
2018 or 2019, before COVID went wild. We went the year before COVID, so I don't remember the day. It's been too damn long.
That would be 2019, but yeah, go ahead.
So we went on a cruise. It cost us about $4,000 a person. It was cheap.
8,000, yeah.
8,000 between two people. It was a week cruise in the Caribbean. All you can eat everything. So I was eating food that would normally cost $80 a plate. I was going to all this entertainment, but we could have done the cruise for about $2,000 a piece, but we chose to go on all the excursions. So we went to take a cooking class in Cozumel. We went to go get a tour of the Cayman Islands and see everything it had to offer. We went to go.
It's a once in a lifetime thing.
Right. We went to go swim with the stingrays, which was pretty cool. Learning how to handle them, how you find them, what to do if you run into a stingray. It's really cool. And then, go to the Bahamas and sit on the beach and eat and kick back. Then you go to Jamaica and you climb Dunn Falls, which is really cool. It's over 1,000 feet in the air, and it's just beautiful waterfalls. And at the end of the day, it was worth the experience. It was an experience of a lifetime. My mom, she was in her 60s climbing this mountain with me. And the tour guide says, "How old are you?" And she says 60. And I said, "You're probably the oldest person we've ever had climbing this thing." And she did great. She did amazing. And the thing about it was cheap. I have long-lasting memories. I mean, so I'll share this. I have pictures of my mom from the cruise right here. That damn green screen that I'll have forever. So you can see her on the gardening channel. This was us, and we were doing the cruise. And I tell you what, I would do it again in a heartbeat. Yeah. And
$8,000 for two people, all inclusive, 7-day cruise, 7 nights, or what it is. That's an amazing price.
And spoiler alert, the alcohol was all you could drink too.
Okay, well,
Yeah. So
I don't need that. But yeah.
no. I had so much alcohol on the cruise. I mean,
God.
I probably spent at least $500 worth of alcohol. Easy.
Ooh, dang.
And it was just all you could. Well, 7 days. Everywhere I went, I had apple cider, or I had a drink or some. We'd sit there and have a 5-course meal on the cruise with alcohol, and then we go to the top of the ship, go get a drink, go hang out and watch the ship sailing, or we take pictures, or we go to the room, watch TV.
Yeah, it's an experience. And the experience of Disney is for children, for the most part. Yes, it is for adults. Adults can go. Adults.
A lot of adults do go to Disney too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Go ahead.
I was gonna say a lot of adults do go to Disney for a cruise, or not. They do cruises, or they go there. Because there is places that are strictly for adults at Disney.
Right.
I think it's Disneyland in Florida. I think that's the one.
Disney World,
Or Disney World, okay. But thing with it is, I wouldn't want to. By the time you spend everything there, it's going to be over $10,000 for one person. Not going to be worth it. If you did a 7-day stay at Disney, I imagine it would be ungodly for 2 people. And so let's go ahead and see what people says. Spectres never says, I've never been to any Disney park, never desired to now with their business model. Straight up there. Devil says, the only reason I want to go to the park is see how fast they cover up accidents, which includes, I won't speak of, cop, deaths in the park. Oh, you mean the food allergy thing? Yeah, that thing was really stupid. Not the lawsuit when they said, oh, hey, if you sign up for Disney Plus, but at least they backtracked that, so... And other things that I keep going to Europe every year. Let's see. Ivan says tickets expensive, hotels expensive, food expensive. Too much people and merchandise expensive. Oh yeah, somebody was saying if you just bought a lightsaber, it was like $600-700 at least. Let's see. Yeah, Ivan covers the food allergy thing, and then Davos says, "Yeah, I'm just so sorry she has to deal with Kai, poor one, bless her heart." Yeah, thanks, Davos. I love that. And
Okay, are you ready for this? I'm sorry to interrupt the comments here, but I had to look this up. In 2025, this is next year, our baseline Disney World vacation for family of 2 adults, child and up, 1 child between 3 and 9 costs $7,093, $355 per person per night in 2025. That's just the base. That's just the bare bones,
and if you're going to go there, you're going to go for the higher price. Yeah, so I'll still stick with the cruise. Yeah, I'll still stick with that. And Del says it's cheaper to fly to Europe for a week than spend a weekend at Disney. Oh, yeah, true. Ivan says Italy's worth going. Only thing I don't like is pickpocketing, scam on the street, or scam for tourist restaurants. Let's see, going to Tokyo Disney's half the price. Going to U.S. Disney. I saw people do it and compare it on YouTube. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's crazy. Disney is nuts, man. They're just nuts.
Yeah.
I'm glad. So in my lifetime, I'm 44 years old. In my Disney, I don't know this one.
Give it a second, Mike. It was getting worse.
It's getting worse. So, and I just checked the speed. The speed is fine, apparently, according to speedtest.net. Anyway, in my lifetime, I've gone to Disney World 5 times. 83, 86, twice in 90, and then twice in 95. Maybe it was 6 times. I don't know. And like I said at the time, like it was fine, it was fun, whatever, but it's not the...
Now, I think this is 2019 prices or 2018. But I looked at the price to go. I had to fly to Thailand. So that was about, I think it was about 1,000 just direct flight there. It was about $4,500 for the cruise. It was a 9-day stop, and it took me to Thailand, ports in couple ports in the Philippines, took me up to some really cool ports in China, and took me to 4 ports in Japan. I would rather do that.
Yeah.
And see all the cool sites as a tourist and all those locations than spend a week at Disney. I'd get more out of it.
Yep. Absolutely.
And Ivan says, that's also including tickets a family for going to Japan. Disney is still cheaper than US Disney. I believe it. And Devil says, or hear me out, just spend the weekend in your underwear in your own house and watch Disney movies on the VHS player eating Cheetos, just saying it's a good time. Yeah, you could do that too.
Yeah, you could do that too.
And yeah, Comic Cons, anime expos. Yeah, I agree with you on that. So yeah, I saw that and I just thought that was unreal. So the next article that I just think is wild. And right now, apparently, I'm getting quite a few likes on this, which it's kind of weird. So we're going to go to Twitter. Or X, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Because there's 2 topics we're going to talk about on X tonight. Because I think they both, it's both really strange. So... So the first one, I stay out of politics quite a bit. Because I don't really like viewing politics on things. I have an issue with politics in general. And I was reading this document today, and it was on X, and this bothered me. I'm going to switch over to here. And then we're gonna go here. Okay, so I saw this article, and this was from Rashida Tlaib, Congresswoman, and I was reading this. So you can find the document that she posted, and it's to Kroger's food.
Oh, yeah.
And so... she was asking about this, and I thought this was interesting. This is all found on X. So if you follow me on X, you'll also be able to see it because I responded to this. Basically, they're deploying what they call dynamic pricing for goods, or using this ESL digital price tags that may result in deploying dynamic goods. And so they're also putting digital cameras on display to use facial recognition to determine age, gender of customers captured on camera to present target ads on these display ESLs. And they're concerned of discrimination and worrying about Kroger being able to build a personal database on each customer, which they do that right now if you have the Kroger's card. Yep. And then they're going to build profiles on the maximum price that the goods customers are willing to pay for using this facial recognition, and do surge pricing. And this is a big concern that they're having with some of these things that they're doing, especially with them getting ready to merge with Albertson Foods, I guess, or something. And so, concerned about it being abused for profit, surge in prices, and goods with areas with very few grocery stores and limited resources, especially in the time where right now prices for goods for food is really high.
Yeah.
No problem, Devils. You take care. And so I just covered that. And so this, and then she listed bullet points. You can read them here. How they're going to be using this facial data. Can a customer opt out? What safeguards and privacy? How are you going to protect private data? Which is one of my biggest concerns going anywhere, is how you're going to protect somebody's data when we're constantly seeing in the news data breaches every single freaking day.
Every day.
And how will their dynamic pricing work? And how is the algorithm going to do that? And are there plans to sell data collected in the store? This here should not happen when you're going to buy groceries.
Yeah.
This is BS.
They want you to this is BS. They want you to see ads that they want to give you dynamic ads to no. I don't go to the grocery store itself is a giant You want to buy.
There you go.
You want to buy produce, or you want to do this, or you want to do that. Grocery stores are not advertise. They are advertisers, but they don't need extra and they've got stores. Any store, I don't care if it's a grocery store or not. Stores have had video cameras in it since the invention of the video camera 30-something years ago.
Yeah.
Why do you need facial recognition when you freaking have?
See, I don't like that, Mike. I don't like this invasion of privacy. Or if it's true, based on her questions to Kroger's, that's public. And this is, like I said, you can find the whole document on X.
Yep.
Why are we worried about dynamic pricing? Why are we worried about surge pricing? Why are we trying to collect data on customers buying products in the store? What the hell are they trying to do? I just want to go to the store, go buy my minute rice, or go buy my jasmine rice, or go buy my mashed potatoes, or go buy my Idaho potatoes, or go buy some steak. I don't want to sit there and be on camera collecting data so they know what I buy when I go to the store. I mean, granted, they still do that already, and I'll explain why in a minute first, because I don't know if it's the same your guys' are with Kroger's. But I don't like the idea of facial recognition and all this stuff. It's just, we're going too far with this stuff. Yeah, it should be simple. Go buy your groceries and go home.
Yep.
And so they know what you buy. You want to know why? Because they made it where you had to live off this, Mike, your phone.
Yep.
So you have to take this phone with you and scan digital coupons off their stupid sign and make sure it works, and it's loaded into your account number. And then you make sure when you go to checkout that it rings, and sometimes it errors. Actually, more times I've had more errors with the damn thing, or it didn't work on the scan codes. Then I had to turn around and try to find it through 20 pages of ads to make it work. And I'm like, screw it. You know what I started doing? I said, screw them. I went and started going to Sam's Club and Walmart because they weren't pushing that shit. And I'm thinking about the older folks that don't like using phone cameras or technology, or people that just don't have the money for all the luxuries. There are still people that use flip phones, believe it or not, for just calling. They don't have the internet. And so what happened to coupon cutting? I know people hate that because it's using paper, but there's still people that coupon cut. And go ahead.
But the thing is, though, the thing about, you're right. There are still people that coupon cut, but we've gotten to the point now, because most of the people that do the shopping are younger. Most of, like, if my grandparents were still alive today,
mine all coupon cutted and hell, and we go online and go print the coupons.
Oh, exactly. But at least now with those stores like Kroger, like whatever, at least in the app you can clip the digital coupon, and it's supposed to do what
it not always does, though. That's the problem. And then you have to fight with management to get it to work.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like the whole thing about, and the surge pricing. So wait a minute, you're telling me at 2 p.m. I can get a 20-ounce T-bone for $20, but if I go at 5 p.m. it's going to cost me steak? Screw that.
You just went silent again, Mike. I have no idea. It's getting worse. It's like you're talking and then just like Discord drops you all of a sudden.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
Reconnect to Discord real quick.
Yeah, give me a second.
Sorry, guys. I can kind of figure out what he's saying by his mouth, but something's not right.
Test 1 2, test 1 2. This is me averaging out about the groceries, or angering out about the groceries. So the surge pricing, you can hear me, right?
Yes, you haven't been cutting out, yeah.
Okay, the surge pricing. the surge pricing is stupid because you're telling me I can go to Kroger at 2 p.m., buy a 20-ounce T-bone for $20, but if I go at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., the same 20-ounce T-bone, not a larger T-bone size, but the same size, is going to cost me double, $40, $50 for the set. No, that's dumb.
That's what Wendy's was actually proposing that. I think 6-7 months ago, and they caught so much hell for that.
Yeah,
they decided to back up. And I'm like,
exactly.
But like I said, I saw this from the Congresswoman on today, and you know, I don't even pay attention to politics. I just was scrolling through my feed and saw this something about Kroger's grocery and technology and facial scanning. Then I saw her questionnaire to him and all this conversation. I was reading that full letter, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And the only thing I could see why they're doing surge pricing is, okay, so from 2 to 4, when there's hardly anybody in the store because everybody's at work, they can have less people so they don't have to charge as much. You come in at from 5 to 8 when everybody's getting off work, then you're going to pay 20-30% more on the price of goods because basically they have to have more staff. I don't think that's acceptable practice in any standards.
More staff? Are you kidding me? More staff?
Well, yeah, that's what they do. No, but they would do it. They'd have less staff because they would say, oh, it's because we have to have more staff. But no, it would be because they have less. Well, and yeah, don't forget to buy 5 or more for better price. Yeah, I hate that shit.
Right. Yeah.
I hate that.
Buy 5 or more. Like, it's fine if you want to sell me 5 2-liters for $1 each. That's fine. But, like, I don't even, like...
We just bought 5 boxes of Minute Rice because it was cheaper to buy 5 boxes. Did we need 5 boxes of brown Minute Rice? No. But we did it anyway because Mom said, well, it's cheaper.
Now you'll have it.
We'll have it. But we just wanted 1 box. But it was cheaper long run to do it. And it was stupid.
Yeah. And the funny thing is about the whole quote-unquote more employees thing, this also ties back into the schooling and the college and the whatever and the high school and getting your diploma and all that and everything else. I mean, you know, and I'm not saying this to disparage the job. I'm just saying the grocery store clerk and bagger, it is manual. For the bagger, it's manual labor, but it's a menial job, just like fast food is. Even though it's a very difficult job, it's not a difficult, but you know what I mean, like the physicality of it all. And the thing of it is like you mentioned that they're saying they're gonna say there are more employees. The last time I was in a grocery store was probably about 3.5 months ago. There was 1 fast lane open with 1 worker doing it. The rest of it was all U-scan registers open with 1 person. There were 2 people. 1 person at the fast pass lane for like cigarettes and stuff that you need to show ID for and things like that. And then 1 person at the computer that takes care of all the U-scan machines. That's it. So they can't sit here and say surge pricing because, oh my God, the store is going to be overrun when somebody gets out of work. Of course, unless which most people will do this, you know, you budget for a week and you go on Saturday or Sunday or whatever, you buy your groceries.
Yeah, most people get paid on Friday, so exactly. Friday or Saturday when they're going to go.
And you're not going to go every night of the week to like right after work to go get a steak or go get spaghetti or go get whatever to, you know, make chop suey or whatever you're going to do. So, I don't know, man. Like, they're already tracking us enough. We don't need more tracking in Kroger.
Well, and Ivan is correct. We're doing more and more self-checkout machines, but I've heard there actually a lot of stores are going backwards because of all the theft from self-checkout machines. Because apparently, I've heard of some stores where they'd have like dozens and dozens of self-checkouts. By the way, self-checkout, where's my pay Walmart or Kroger's if I'm self-checking out? I mean, why am I paying these exorbitant prices for stuff, but still checking my stuff out? Do you want me to stock the shelves for you too while I'm at it? I mean,
yeah, they do.
I mean, come on now. But what they were doing So they buy this item that was like $200, $300, and they put like an Apple sticker or a mac and cheese label or something on it. So when they scan it across, they rings up for $1 or $2. There's several TikTok videos of loss prevention grabbing this person. They said, "I paid for this," and they're like, "No, you didn't." And it says $1.99 for this. They said, "Really, $1.99? Well, yeah, that's what it came up as." And they look and say, "Oh, what's this? This label's under here."
Yeah. Oops. Yeah.
And Ivan says California doesn't have self-checkout, and they put items on the shelf in glass cage and locks. Well, yeah, that's for other reasons.
That's California.
That's California. Because they don't believe in arresting shoplifters anymore.
Well, okay. So the funny thing is, when COVID hit, and we got to a point where we could actually go to stores again, as it progressed through 2020.
Yeah.
Karen and I bought these cooler bags. Is the best way I can, they're whatever, because out in Washington State, they went to charging for plastic and paper bags.
I've seen that.
I don't know where else it's been done since then. I don't know, but
it's starting to spread some places. But yeah,
right. So this is back 2020, and I think even 2019, because I think we bought those. And anyway, grocery stores started charging for the bags, plastic and paper. So we were at Walmart one time and we saw these freezer type bags, and they're fairly large. They hold a lot of groceries. I have bought those same bags. Oh, I have like 6 of them in my closet right now. If I go grocery shopping, depending on, like, usually I'll just bring 2 of the 6 bags, and I'll say, "Look, just put it all in here. No need to worry about bagging. Like, this is your bag to bag this stuff." And that way I'm quote unquote, saving the environment by not having more plastic in the landfills, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that's the way we had to do it if we didn't want to get charged for the bags 4, 5, 6 years ago. And I'm sure the stores are still charging for the bags today.
See, I haven't said a good point. I always bring my cotton bags for shopping. I have several of those freezer bags. I usually just leave them in my car, though, and just wheel out the shopping cart, because I always worry that they're going to think you stole the bags from there, especially because, like, Sam's Club. No. I bought Sam's Club bags, but I use them at Sam's Club, so it's like...
No. So with these, as long as you mention... So, like, for me personally, because I'm physically disabled, I have cerebral palsy, I have brain damage, I have all this stuff. I don't walk so well. I haven't been able to walk a grocery store since probably 2020, or not 20, since 2012.
Right.
So I use the motorized carts because I'm disabled.
Right.
I will put the bags in the carts, and I will stop at the person on the inside of the checkout saying, "Hey, these are my bags. These are my personal bags, just to let you know," and whatever, because I want to be able to then, at the end of that grocery trip, park the cart and just carry the bags out to the car myself.
Okay,
so that way I don't have to worry about it.
I have to ask you a question off topic. Because I've always wanted to do this.
Okay.
I've always wanted to do this.
Oh, no.
Have you ever taken one of those carts and go full speed and just try to hot rod down the store in them? I don't know how fast they'd go. And that's the first thing I think of.
No. See, that's the problem. They're not built for speed. They're not even built for comfort. When we would go grocery shopping, Karen and I could probably only sit in them maybe for 45 minutes of a grocery trip.
Really?
By that time, yeah. And I mean, most of the time when you're doing it, most of the time you have to get up out of the cart to get to a certain specific area or a certain side of the aisle or whatever. So you're still getting up and down out of it. You're not always sitting in it. But yeah, no, those things.
Because I always joked with my grandma about wanting to race her in one of those. And for years, and she always said, "Oh yeah, let's do it." And I was like, that they're gonna see me capable of walking, and I'm gonna get kicked out of the store for a drive once. So I ain't gonna do it.
Oh,
but
dude, do I have a story for you? 28. Oh my God. Do we really want to go here? Do I really want to do this?
Hey, I'm sure the chat will laugh. I mean, come on now. We got to have a little bit of muse on it. But no, I always thought, I wonder how fast they go if you just hit the full accelerator. You just
there is no fast.
Really?
There is no. They go at, I want to say maybe 5 miles an hour or less. It's not what you think, unless somebody gets it off the lot and soups it up. They're not that fast. You can't race these things. You just
can't race them.
No, not really. All right, so here we go, folks. Oh boy, story time with TFG1Mike. Now, I have been writing a daily blog series since 2019. Basically, the idea of TFG1Mike 365 is write anything, doesn't matter what it is, once a day for 365 days a year. I've been doing this for the past 5.5 years. I have never actively completed the entire full year of blogs, but I have written a lot of stuff. And in 2019, I wrote about the time that I got accosted at Walmart by a customer for using an electronic cart, because at the time when she was there, when the customer was there, and I'm not looking at the camera, folks, so I'm not sure what you're seeing, because I'm about to read this just so I can, again, this is story time here.
This is interesting.
Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do that. That way I don't have to worry about the camera.
Oh, really?
It's okay.
Really?
Yeah, because people are just going to see people are just going to see my head. Stop it. All right, so.
What if I make Worksource sit on your lap?
That's fine. You can do whatever you want to do.
Oh, let's see if I can find them.
All right. Okay, so here we go. In my 11th entry of 2019, I'll be talking about a negative experience at Walmart. This happened in September of 2018. In general, I'm fine with getting stuff at Walmart. I wish they'd treat their employees better, though. Preface number 1. I debated posting this, but then I thought, what if it helps another disabled person out there? My 365 series here can be about anything, and one thing I'm refusing to do in this new year more than ever is to stop pulling my punches. Also, I left the post in the present day context as it was written September 1st, 2018. Preface number 2. I want to preface this by saying that normally any comments about my disability do not get under my skin as much as they used to. I've learned to ignore people. But this situation just couldn't keep my mouth shut. This is what this lady practically yelled at me. And in the blog post, it's in all caps. Fat people don't need motorized carts in big box stores. They are for people who can't walk. Quote unquote.
Holy shit.
Unknown rude ass woman in Walmart. Have I grabbed your attention yet with that headline? For those that do not know, I was born with a very mild case of cerebral palsy. It affects my brain, the whole right side of my body. The physical aspects you can see are that my right hand and foot are smaller than my left side, and they turn in slightly. If any of you have seen R.J. Midia's Walt Jr. on Breaking Bad, my case is less severe than his, and he even had to make his look worse on TV for the character. Before my mom died in 2015, I asked her what was the cause of my cerebral palsy. Her answer was the doctor was drunk and screwed something up, and he botched the birth. That's not technically what happened, apparently.
That's an interesting response, though.
That's what she told me. I've learned since then what happened was the corpus callosum in your brain, which divides the left and right brain hemispheres. I don't have one. It never developed for me. So I've lived with this disability my whole life. Plus, I've lived with weight issues since I was a teenager in the 90s. I'm currently, at the time, I was 404 pounds, where 2 and 3 years ago, I was between 380 and 383. So sadly, I've put on some pounds. So Karen and I were going shopping at Walmart in Gurnee, Illinois at the time. Mm-hmm. We are clear across the... So I'm in one section and she's in another section. I'm in the dairy and frozen section. I'm getting some yogurt because I wanted to eat healthy. Oh my God. As I maneuver my way to the yogurt section, there is what seems like an unattended cart in front of where I need to go. Mm-hmm. So I stop the motorized cart, I get up, walk over to where the yogurt section is that I wanted. And before doing this, I saw a mother and son to the right of me, and I assumed that it was their cart. And as I was getting back into the motorized cart, she says to me, "Those aren't for fat people, they're for people who can't walk." She goes on to say, "My sister who can't walk has been waiting for a cart." By the time I had this run in, we had only been in Walmart 5 minutes or less. When Karen and I walked into Walmart, we saw 2 motorized carts that no one was using. So we took them because she was disabled, I'm disabled, all that stuff. We also had times when motorized cart was unavailable for both or even one of us. And depending on the pain level that day, we can either power through, or sometimes, yes, it's bad enough that we have to just turn around and leave the store because there's no way we could navigate the store that day with the pain that we were in. My reply to this woman was, "Excuse me, ma'am, I'm disabled." And I show her my right arm, and she goes on to say, "But you can walk. People like you shouldn't be allowed to exist." She then says that I'm just a fat, lazy slob on a motorized cart, taking it away from the people that really need to use it. She wouldn't even allow me to defend myself against her. She kept walking away, ignoring me, while calling me useless. This is where I stopped being polite and tore into her. I said, and I'm going to say this, so YouTube, I'm sorry, "Are you fucking kidding me? Can you not see that my arm and leg are affected by something? Are you so fucking blind that you can't see that I am disabled?" Her son, or whomever the kid was, I'm assuming it was her son, said nothing the entire time. What lessons of prejudice and hatred his mother is teaching him. My mother taught me 2 things. Silence is golden when you know you shouldn't say anything. And number 2, to stand up for yourself. Karen then meets back up with me in the frozen section and asks, "What was that?" I say, "Oh, you have no idea," and proceed to tell her the entire story. I wish there had been a fucking Walmart manager there to see the whole thing. So yay, September 2018 is starting off to be a great month. In the end, this really doesn't matter. But at the time, in that moment, how fucking dare you to verbally attack me? Not that it should matter, by the way, even if it was just a fat person using this device type of comment. I've seen plenty of very able-bodied kids ride around on these damn things like they're toys, and even I don't go off on them. Well, in my head I do. But if I were waiting to use one at the time, yeah, I'd probably speak up. But it's not a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, I saw a couple.
It's just, oh god.
Is your camera back on?
Yeah, it will be in a second.
So I used to, when I worked at Kmart when I was going to college, and there was 2 guys. It was about 9 o'clock at night, and they had those electronic carts, and they were going rather fast, and they were spinning around. They crashed and took out display stands and stuff. I had to basically
you can crash and take out display stands, but they're not.
I remember getting up and says, "You guys need to leave."
Yeah.
Before the cops get called, because they're just joyriding random. And I always wondered about that, because when you were talking about kids playing in them, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, and a lot of them do that, but
kids,
but to have a grown woman tell you that you should be walking because you're fat.
This isn't like, I'm not even controlling my right arm, other than the fact that I'm moving my arm into camera. I have no actual physical control. Like, I can control it with my left hand and stuff, but like, I have no control over what my arm does at all. Right. I have no control in my hand. Back then, and even now more so, most of the time I can barely walk. If I was still actually going to the grocery store today, I would still be doing the same thing I was doing 5 years ago. I would be taking the freezer bag type things. I would get a cart. I would go shopping. I would leave everybody alone because I want to be left alone while I'm shopping. And if I needed help from the store people, I would ask them for help. But like, oh my God, get a life.
That was a judgmental prick. That's all I can say to it.
Yeah, I mean, very much so.
I mean, and you're right, absolutely right. They weren't going to listen to anything. They had their opinion formed in their head, and they had already condemned you even though, so I've even seen that you cannot really move your hand or anything. You have no use of it. I've seen that.
Yeah.
And if I saw somebody like that in the store, I'd be thinking to myself, they're disabled.
And
what's wrong with you?
What I'm doing. Yeah. And I'm like, everyone always tells me, like, Mike, how do you continue to, I just do.
Yeah.
I do whatever I have to do for myself, for my friends, for the people that I love, and all that stuff. If I can do it, I'll do it. If I can't do it, I'm sorry. But
thing is, Mike, you're a survivor.
Yeah.
You're a tough bastard and a survivor. And I mean, people, there's too many judgmental pricks out there that don't understand what people go through.
Yeah, no. Like,
but
and I'm sorry that her sister was waiting 2 hours, because the other thing about these stores, it doesn't matter what store it is, it could be Kroger, it could be Walmart, it could be wherever. Most of them only have a quote unquote fleet of
I see like 4 or 5.
4 or 5, 6. I've only ever seen 6 like once. So I get that they are an in-demand thing, but man, that was, oh boy! Like I think the last time I got that heated in public, that was 2018. I think the last time that happened before that was probably like somewhere in the 90s. But like literally, Karen heard it. Like literally, I was in the frozen food section.
I can imagine you yelled.
She was, you.
I'm surprised you didn't get kicked out for disorderly or some crap.
I know.
I'm really surprised but you didn't.
But you think that give me a fucking second. Let me get into work. You think that? No. Take that clip
times 10,
elevate it times 25.
So literally, smoke's coming out of your ears. Your eyes have turned red, and you're like a bull ready to charge.
Okay, so everybody has seen Inside Out, right? Whenever anger goes off, and that's me essentially. Unfortunately, I don't have Lewis Black's voice, but that's me, like.
Now, I got to read one comment from the viewers here. Okay. And this is bad. Mike, she failed you because of your diehard takes. Courtesy of Ramcross.
Well, at least it wasn't Davos, but
yeah.
Ramcross.
Oh. I need to get one of those sensor beeps for you, so I can hit beep beep.
I have one somewhere. I'll send it to you. I'll see you after the show, Ram. Oh God, my head hurts. Oh fuck, where's my water?
Oh, that's damn. Yeah, people suck in that.
So at the end of the day, these stores, Kroger, any of them, they don't need more. They don't need more tracking. They really don't. Like,
yeah.
I like, so the thing I liked about Kroger most of the time, and Meijer to a certain extent too, because Meijer is similar to Kroger.
Right.
What I liked about them is specifically Meijer, because when we were out in the Pacific Northwest, Meijer stores were everywhere out there. There was no Kroger out there, so Meijer was it. What I liked about their tracking is, you purchased this? If you keep purchasing this, in about 6 months, you're going to get a whole stack of coupons where you can get all these deals on stuff you've actually bought, not stuff that you'd like. The problem with going into the store and looking at the little coupon saver things or whatever it's like, would you like to buy this? Again, it's an advertisement to get you to buy certain things. No, I want to buy the same shit I've bought for the last however many, whatever long. And I'd rather have deals on that stuff than deals on stuff I've never bought before.
And between you and Ramcross's banner says "Catch Me Outside," I really wish I had a clip right now of the best part of Happy Gilmore when Jaws says, "And you can count for me waiting for you in the parking lot."
That's right. Yeah, the parking lot is this this lobby, so I'll be waiting for you in the lobby, Ramcross. And I'm not even looking at the chat right now. I'm just looking at the Discord
I know,
stuff,
it's funny. So so we're going to talk about Ubisoft next. So Ubisoft went on strike officially. 700 from Ubisoft France employees have walked out for a 3-day strike over dispute of home working and pay. So not only has Ubisoft hit basically a 40% loss in their stock, but now they're demanding that their France-based workers go back to the office to work, and a lot of people want to still continue to work from home, and they also are wanting better pay. So, and that's pretty much the gist of it. They said that because the demand of them having to go back to the work at least 3 days a week going forward was basically the last straw that just basically decided they're all going to go on a peaceful strike. And so 700 went on strike, and Ubisoft's one of those companies that stock continues to plummet because they just can't come up with anything good. They also did pull their product, which is a good thing, of Assassin's Creed Shadows, where they had the 2 characters sitting next to the broken Torii Gate, which is not something they should have ever done because it's a history thing. And Ubisoft France, they walk out backwards. Spectre.
Yeah, they probably do.
And Ram, all I have to say, to quote Happy Gilmore, you eat shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh. So no, that was some interesting news today. I was just like kind of surprised by all the crazy stuff that we've been seeing. I mean, a lot of it's not negative. Also, Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be coming out soon.
Yeah, the 22nd.
22nd physical.
It's currently on digital.
Which was funny. Somebody put the whole movie up again. I saw it was like on YouTube, it was like up for a day, and then it got taken down. I'm like, wow.
I don't know, people freaking learn. You can't do that.
I was just rolling. And the funny part what I saw was people in the comments said, nobody snitched.
Oh my god. Oh my god, no. They did not say, oh my god. That's like,
wow. I don't know. And Spectre, I've been wondering that because they're wanting to go private right now because the shareholders are not happy with Ubisoft.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ubisoft just goes under completely before they go private.
Yeah.
Because the shareholder, if you're a public, we've talked about this before, if you're a public company, your responsibility is to your customers and your shareholders.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, you have your bottom line and all that stuff and everything else, but you have to make profits for the shareholders to keep being in business, because the people that hold the shares of your company are the people that's the problem with public companies, is that, I mean, you get your responsibilities to the public. Is that Charlie or Wendy?
Charlie, he's one in the office to say hi, apparently.
Well, go get him. It's all right. I'll keep Ram busy.
All right, I'll let him say hi.
Ram Cross. What the hell is wrong with you, Ram Cross? All right, here.
Come on here, buddy.
Yes, Spectre. Yeah, we don't understand why Ubisoft is still in business. I miss Sunsoft. Anyone remember the video game company Sunsoft? They did the Batman game back in the day. I miss that company. Hey, Charlie boy.
So here's my armed security.
Yep.
He wanted to make sure everything's okay. The office was shut. He's like, hi, guys. How you doing?
Yep. Make sure he's locked and loaded.
Yep. Although, what's that all about, huh?
Oh, what about?
But I saw something about that, too, Ivan, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But, yeah. So this is, for those that haven't seen, this is one of my guys, Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
And he is my buddy. He's also my guard dog that'll sit next to me for hours and make sure everything's going okay. Ain't that right, buddy? Mm-hmm. Ain't that right?
Yep. That's right.
So Blitz says, give me that dog. No, you can't have him.
You can't pet that dog. I keep hearing Chaos and Kel talking about pet that dog. I'm like, what the hell is that from? I don't even know.
I don't know.
It's from some meme somewhere online. Boy.
Yep, he's like, so he wanted to be on camera, I guess. I don't know. So I decided to let him on here. Yeah. So Blitz is giving me the evil face. Aw. So yeah, funny story, Mike.
Yes.
So the house stream stayed monetized, but my Conan stream got demonetized, limited ad. And it was the cleanest stream I've had because there was no swearing, no nothing, which we try to limit the swearing just for the YouTube censors and everything. And I laughed my ass off because I'm like, I thought the house Halloween house thing was gonna be the one that got limited ads. No, Conan. So I'm like, I seen if anybody's responding on X. Is any other Conan streamers or anything getting censored? I'm like, that's interesting. And Blitz says there was a bear walking around the front of the house, and this family on the porch recording a small child starts asking loudly, "Can I pet that dog?"
Oh, okay. And she does it in some country accent kind of thing. Yeah.
Oddly enough, he would stay right here. I mean, he's like, yay.
Yep. Well, I think he was barking because he was like, dude, you're past your 2 hours. Me time now. Me time.
I think you're past your 2 hours because it's only been an hour and a half. I don't know what you're talking about.
Really? Oh, shit. That's right. Yeah, whatever.
So, there's another let your dog wear the hot god costume Halloween for so cute. But he is a little bit of a wiener. He's a bit of a wiener.
Yes.
So we've had dachshunds all my life since I was a kid. They're some of the best dogs. Only downside with them, they get bad teeth and they can have bad backs. That's the only downside with them I've had. We've had them live anywhere from 12 to 17 years. So, and so, yeah, he's, as you can see, he's well-minded. I literally could hold him like this, and he ain't gonna move because he eats this up like attention. He loves it. But yes, I always joked about calling him my little hot dog and putting a bun around him.
Oh, costumes do not belong on pets.
I would put a hot dog bun around him and for Halloween. Be like, this is my little hot dog. Or do you want to be a chili dog? Do you want to be a chili dog?
That would require a lot more.
Do you want to be a chili dog instead? Or do you want to be just a hot dog?
Oh, boy.
See, he don't care. He's just like, he's like, yay, whatever. I'm just being held. So there's one other article, and this is positive news. And this was posted by Loop, which surprised me, given that Loop usually posts tentacles and stuff. But they said that a unique event in Japan gave scientists unprecedented insight into gaming's mental health effects. The pandemic console lottery reveals casual link between video games and improved psychological well-being. And this was on SciPost.org. And so they said the natural experiment born out of COVID-19 and supply chain disruptions, people that won purchases for game consoles like Nintendo, PS5, they said they found that owning a console led to less psychological stress and improved life satisfaction based on their public behavior. So You know, all these times you've been hearing, and you can definitely check this article out. So, what I found interesting, all these years, they've always said video games violent and they're going to ruin us and everything. But how little did they talk about the fact that it was psychologically a de-stressor to allow yourself to just plug into a different world, be somebody else, and enjoy things. It's like, and that's the whole purpose of gaming, writing, dreaming, is to be somebody else for a change, to do something else. You know, when we hear about, like they say, modern gaming, because they will say, well, see yourself in the game. Most people don't want to see themselves. They want to pretend to be somebody else. That's what pretending's about.
Yeah, but see, the thing with today's society is they've lost the art of make-believe. They don't believe in make-believe anymore. They don't believe in pretending anymore.
Well, it makes you wonder how many of them actually go outside to go play, or how many of them actually go out and pretend. I remember when I was a kid, we used to role play all the time. Now, granted, we'd play with sticks and stuff and do sword fighting and stuff, but we wouldn't hurt at each other. We know that the things. But we'd always play on the dirt hills, and we'd do silly things. We'd play tag. I mean, stuff as a kid. We would go outside and do that stuff. Now today, I think it's because people have been so attached to their phones and computers for so long that imagination's gone.
Oh yeah. That's the whole, like, it's just the whole thing. Like, for me, what I remember the positives for video gaming back when I was a kid in the 80s and 90s, hand-eye coordination was the biggest thing. Oh my God, your hand-eye coordination is going to be so much better. And honestly, it's the truth. I'm not saying it to be negative. It's the truth, because when I was playing Sega, Master System, or Genesis, or Nintendo, or whatever else, as, you know, when I was in elementary school, and when I got to high school later in the mid-90s, I played on the basketball team for, I don't know, half a semester kind of thing. Or when we would do like pickup games at, you know, for PE class kind of thing. And I could do the hand-eye coordination and play basketball with just one arm half the time. But yeah, you're right. The whole psychological, like, that whole thing with me and Walmart from 2018, when I got home, first thing I did was get on my computer and get on Grand Theft Auto 4 and just play the game and just zone out, because I'm not a violent person. Yeah, it was a de-stressor. I'm not a violent person. I'm not going to, I was never like, yes, did I yell at the lady? Of course, obviously, but I was never going to actually physically hurt anybody kind of thing. I think that's one of the reasons why the Walmart security or the employee, and this was the frozen section, people. There was nobody there. It was whatever. But yeah, the video game stuff, de-stress, absolutely. It's therapeutic.
And that's the one thing they missed about gaming for the last 30 years is it is a de-stressor. Always has been.
Yep. What was that?
He was shedding.
Oh.
Some of his hair went fly in the air. I'm like, really?
Heaven forbid the hot dog hair gets on the camera lens.
Well, what's funny about him, this little guy here is a long-haired dachshund, and he absolutely hates the heat. But he'll be okay in the cold. But he goes outside. Within 5 minutes, he's like, I want in. This is too hot. And I feel bad because I'm like, maybe we should just shave you and get you and take your fur coat. It's a joke. You don't do that. But I know somebody that shaved their dog once, and that was not good.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on like if you want the, like, sometimes with long-haired breeds, like my stepmom had Goldens all the time. My mom and my uncles and everybody else had German Shepherds and things like that. We had a English Cocker Spaniel for a number of years. And sometimes you have to, like, if they get a burr or something like that from being outside, you know, if they get something in their fur, you're going to have to shave them. But it's not something you do all the time. It's like a once in a like. Lacey, the cat that Karen had, Lacey, we shaved her once because she got stuck out in.
But it
She
takes
wasn't an
forever for their
outside
fur
cat.
to grow back. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
it does. You're right. It does.
And they get burned easy.
Yeah.
Without their fur, because it's their natural protection, so you really can't do that stuff. I think there's only ones I've seen. I think it's like poodles is the ones I think they shave.
Yeah.
Certain ones, but yeah.
Yep.
I don't know much of poodles. I'm gonna put you down though, buddy, because you're getting heavy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's only what, 40 pounds?
About. I don't know. I know. Aw, I was like, okay, I'll let you stay on a little longer. and as Ivan says, game 2 about dream, hope, escape reality, de-stress, fun. Oh yeah, that's why I game.
Yep.
So, we've talked a lot about our subjects, and this little fella here, I guess, is going to stick with us for the remainder of the stream. So, the rest of the week is as following. For you guys that are just tuning in. Tomorrow we'll be streaming Conan, the new DLC drop or expansion, whatever the patch, whatever you want to call it. Tomorrow we're going to check it out, probably build our town, see how things go. Tomorrow we'll start at 8 Eastern. Friday I will be on Orcasaurus's stream in the afternoon, so I'll drop a link in the Discord announcements and on X when I'm on his show. Not sure what we're doing, but it's my turn to be on his show. And then Friday night we'll be doing some more Conan, seeing how things go. Hopefully YouTube doesn't demonetize the ads on the stream, because I don't understand that. Is there's not, I mean, they've been clean streams, so I don't understand it. And then last but not least, Saturday we'll have the DGen Green stream. Saturday is to be determined. I'm still finalizing what we're gonna do. Sunday, I'll probably do 2 streams, or at least 1, since I am off Monday, but I'm also trying to work on some other content to post in video format for you guys. That way you guys have some extra fun stuff. Also, be sure to check out the gardening channel. We're constantly putting out new content sometimes it feels like daily, but it's at least 3 or 4 times a week. So we're doing that, and I'll be ramping up cooking as it gets colder. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But
very cool.
Do you have anything, Mike?
Let's see. What do we got? We are.
Who's yawning at you? What the hell?
What, the dog or me? I'm not yawning at him.
No. Charlie's yawning at you when you're speaking, and he's going to sleep.
Exactly. See, I put people to sleep. See, my voice sucks. My voice is the worst thing in the world. This guy. Let's see what we got. We got. I'm currently in the middle of editing. I was hoping to have it finished by tonight, whenever, but it isn't happening. Where I'm editing GCR 343. Steve Megatron and I talked about how there is a huge difference between podcasting and videos and all that and everything else, because apparently video podcasts are, well, they're not podcasts, they're videos. There's a huge difference. Audio podcasting is not what videos are, kind of thing. So I'm in the middle of editing that. We've got, what do we, I'm still in the middle of reading. At this point, I'm now at the point of reading the second book from Craig Miller. His first book was Star Wars Memories from 2019. The new book from this year is More Movie Memories, so I'm in the middle of that, prepping for an interview to interview him. So that's coming up. Just head over to geekcastradio.com, folks. It'll, 15 and a half, 16 years, almost over 4,000 episodes. Nothing but sleep.
All right, so yeah, I don't have really anything else. I'm gonna sit my buddy down here. Mm-hmm. He's like, he's such a good boy, and that is my dear buddy Charlie, who well sheds like crazy. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what we got planned. I am working on some scripts on some reviews that I've been putting off for a while. I'm going to try to get those out. trying to also figure out how I'm going to segment my future content on this channel. Got my talk shows, got my interviews I want to start doing again with other content creators or people talk about their life, because I love listening to their stories. And then we're gonna have a review section, and of course we'll have our live stream still. We'll still have our 2 talk shows a week plus everything else in between. And then kind of trying to see if I want to try to revise some guides again, as well as I'm also looking at doing some storytelling through gaming. So that's at least what my goal is. Fortunately, the storytelling through gaming is probably the hardest that I've had to do, because you have to either record the stuff and then write the script, or, there's a lot of different things you have to do. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to implement this, and that's the hardest part. So bear with me. I would like to see us. We got about 2.5 months. I'd like to see me try to get to 5,000 subs if possible. I think it's doable. It's just going to take some time, and we still got plenty of time. So at least that's the goal, to try to get that before Christmas, and try, if we can get lucky, get the gardening channel up to 1,000 if we can. So we'll see what happens. So also TFG1Mike and Ramcross are going to go meet in the parking lot now, just like in Happy Gilmore. And with that, I love you guys, and I hope to see you all tomorrow for Conan Exiles. Should be a lot of fun. We'll see what all the new update has to offer. With that, this is Kai Dragon signing out.
See you, folks. All right. Yeah.